Rome, early 19th century. The cobblestone streets of the Eternal City are filled with the bustle of carriages, vendors, and the echo of church bells. Among the crowd walks a woman who seems ordinary to the world. She dresses simply, cares for her 7 children, manages a household with very limited resources, and attends to a difficult husband. Her name is Anna Maria Taigi. To her neighbors, she is an exemplary mother. But within the walls of her humble home, one of the most astonishing mystical phenomena in the history of the Church takes place. For 47 years, Anna Maria had before her eyes a unique divine gift, a mystical sun, a luminous globe surrounded by thorns where she saw the state of souls, the future of nations, the fall of empires, and, above all, a secret of the past that connects directly to the end times. Today, the algorithm of our modern lives bombards us with alerts, news, and alarmist theories about the future of the world. However, many are unaware that the answer and true preparation lie not in fearing tomorrow, but in a message hidden in the past. A message that seeks not to frighten, but to awaken the soul. To understand the weight of her warnings, we must first understand who Anna Maria Taigi was. She was not a nun secluded in a cloistered convent, but a woman immersed in everyday life. Precisely for this reason, her connection to the divine was so impactful. Figures of the stature of Saint Gaspar del Buffalo, the great apostle of the precious blood, and several popes of her time sought her counsel in secret. They knew that what Anna Maria saw in her mystical sun came to pass with pinpoint accuracy. In that celestial light, she foresaw the fall of Napoleon Bonaparte when he seemed invincible. She saw years in advance the exact day certain popes would die and described in detail revolutions that would change the map of Europe. Her sun never failed her. It was a window into the design of providence. But among all the visions that passed before her eyes, there was one that left an indelible mark on the historical records of the Church. A prophecy that speaks of a great filter for humanity, a purification event known as the 3 days of darkness. According to the writings and testimonies gathered during her beatification process, Anna Maria Taigi prophesied that a time would come when the earth would be enveloped in absolute darkness. It would not be an ordinary eclipse, nor an astronomical phenomenon explainable by human science. She described a dense darkness, accompanied by pestilential vapors, covering the entire planet for 3 days and 3 nights. In her visions, this event was not arbitrary destruction, but an act of divine justice and mercy, a radical halt to the advance of evil and an opportunity for the earth to be renewed. According to the prophecy, during this time of trial, the spiritual forces of evil would have a kind of temporary freedom in the physical world. The writings narrate that the enemies of the faith and the Church would falter, and that nature itself would seem to tremble. It is a narrative with apocalyptic overtones, yes, but if we focus only on the visual impact and the mystery, we are missing the true core of its message. We are ignoring what blessed Anna Maria Taigi really wanted us to do. When people hear about prophecies concerning the end times or days of darkness, the first human impulse, fueled by movies and social media, is one of material survival. Thinking about stockpiling food, water, bunkers, or supplies. But blessed Anna Maria Taigi and the mystics who shared similar visions, such as Saint Gaspar del Buffalo himself, pointed in a completely different direction. The preparation they recommended was not physical, but profoundly spiritual. In the accounts of her revelations, a beautiful and symbolic detail is mentioned. It was said that during those 3 days of darkness, artificial lights and electricity would not work, that the only lights that would remain lit would be those of blessed candles. Beyond the physical object of the candle, theologians and scholars of the blessed's life explain that this contains a beautiful spiritual metaphor. The blessed candle represents living faith in the heart, the state of grace of a soul in communion with God. Those who keep the flame of prayer burning in their lives have nothing to fear from the darkness outside, because the light of Christ dwells within them. And Maria did not ask for the construction of stone shelters, she asked for shelters in the heart. Her historical recommendations were clear, simple, and accessible to any family. Remain in prayer, stay united at home, turning to the Holy Rosary, which is an anchor in times of trouble. Frequent confession, cleansing the soul in the sacrament of reconciliation, not out of fear of punishment, but out of a genuine desire to love God above all things. Fraternal charity, not closing one's heart to one's neighbor. Faith without works is a lamp without oil. This is where the message of Blessed Anna Maria Taigi becomes truly revolutionary for our time. Fear is a paralyzing emotion, a weapon the enemy of the soul uses to distance us from peace. Authentic Catholic prophecies are never given to instill collective terror, but to remind us of the urgency of conversion. The end times, in the minds of the saints, are not a disaster movie, they are the definitive triumph of love over evil. Anna Maria used to repeat that, after this great trial and necessary purification, an era of peace and spiritual flourishing would come, the likes of which humanity had not seen for centuries. The Church would be restored to its splendor, and souls would once again find their way back to their Creator. Therefore, a devout Christian's gaze upon these private revelations should be one of absolute trust in divine protection. Thinking about the 3 days of darkness should not make us anxiously gaze at the clouds, but rather turn our attention to the interior of our homes. How is prayer in my family? When was the last time we sat together to give thanks? Is there forgiveness among us? The secret of the past, bequeathed to us by this humble Roman mother, is not hidden for us to play at guessing dates or calendars. It is plain for all to see in the Gospel. Watch and pray. Blessed Anna Maria Taigi taught us through her life that one can be a great mystic while washing dishes, cooking for children, and bearing the crosses of daily life. The sun she saw is the same sun of grace that can illuminate your life today through family prayer and the sacraments. Let us not ignore the hidden message. Let us not dwell on the morbid fascination of the prophecy, but rather on the beauty of its call. When the world seems darkest around us, let us remember that no external darkness can extinguish the light of a soul that trusts fully in God. In the end, the promise still stands, his heart will triumph, and light will always overcome the night.